man, what is going on today? Just cruising in the big wagon down here. We're in New Paris, Ohio, because I need to come in here, this little chrome shop, 937-437-1000. They've got a ton, and I mean a ton of new old stock stuff here, and I'm actually just gonna back her right up because I've got a brand new old stock bumper that I had bought a couple weeks ago when I swung through here, and I need to pick it up. So I brought the big wagon so I could do that. That way I don't need to, I thought maybe I'd get lucky and throw that bad boy in my sleeper, but it was way too big for that. So I'm just gonna park this thing right here like this, and get in. We're gonna go inside here in a minute and go chat with these folks, show you around. On the show, on the Chad Teagan YouTube channel. Out. Look at those. I need some of those right here. Here's my bumper. Bam. He's got a brand new KW W900 or all for $450.
Wait, this is going on a green truck?
This is going on a blue truck. No. Oh, what the hell happened there?
What's on it now?
This one, except it's got some holes. Some other new old stock ones. This is for an 80 to 84 Freightliner. There's a ton of winter fronts over here. She's got bug screens.
Can I have her call you back on that other light you're talking about? Yeah,
I mean, all kinds of winter fronts.
Okay.
What I thought was crazy is there's these covers over here. Well, you won't see that stuff like this very often, especially new old stock for buds. You name it, she's probably got it. All kinds of different lights. Yeah, alright, check that out. Bam. CBs, stainless, you name it. Steering wheels, Can you tune the CBs? Can you tune them? Have you ever tuned them?
Nope. He's not here until tonight. Turn 6:30.
Gotcha. License plate holders, mud flaps. Most of this stuff is labeled too. Thanks for stacks. Oh, nice little tappers. Look at that. Look at that. That is sick. I know where I can get those when I swap some things out. Oh, nice little weights here. You could spend a lot of time in here going through everything and looking at all this stuff. All kinds of mirrors. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I cannot find these anywhere, but I just found one here because that one had blowed out. And yes, and I've got a replacement for Frank's because I stole it. These things, mud flap hangers. I thought those were cool right there.
Yeah, I thought those were cool too.
Yeah. Oh, no, if you want to go back out there, that's fine. I shouldn't be too long. Alrighty. Oh my goodness, look at this windshield here. Man, we're just coming back from getting the bumper and stuff. It's about 5:30. I've already got my next 2 loads booked for Monday and Tuesday. Gonna move the old Musement around, and then I'm gonna pull a load over to Maryland from Salina, which is about 35 minutes from Wapakoneta. When I get done with the Musement, guys, got my bumper back here, and I got some aluminum bud simulators. Basically make it look like I've got aluminum buds, but go right over the steel. Yeah, we're just getting wasted here. Look at our freaking, oh my God, look at our windshield. Freaking nasty. But yeah, it was nice seeing Vivian. Went back, we ran to the antique store real quick because she was doing some stuff busy. So went back in and talked to her for a little bit, pick that up. I checked out some winter fronts because she does have some. She did have one that was my size. It was all white. I didn't get it. I passed on it because I wanted I like the one with the emblem, so I just left it. You know, I know what number it is though, at least the next time I go down, so it's all good. Told her I'd be back. So yeah, I'll put the business card up in this, and I guess when we get home, I'll probably start doing some shit because I got to get all those the mud flaps off that front bumper. I've got the fog lights I got to take off that front bumper, and then I've got to drill some holes on this new bumper. And unfortunately, it doesn't have the foot-hole cut out, the square cut out. And I thought about cutting something out, but I just don't think I have the time. So I'm just going to slap the bumper up there, and I guess we're going to have more chrome than usual. I was going to pick up some quarter fenders, but I didn't want to get the same kind that I've got on there now. I need to get something that's going to be a little bit more durable. So probably just going to have to order something, and then it's just what it is, I guess. That kind of stuff doesn't pay the bill, so it's whatever. But yeah, we'll see how the truck looks with those simulators on, and if I don't like them, I'll just take them off and sell them. It's that simple. So it's what it is. But yeah, I may need to stop and clean my windshield because that's just freaking disgusting. The car actually needs a wash though, because it hasn't been washed for a hot ass minute, and it has ran through couple rains, so it's just, you know, one of them situations where maybe I'll find some time this weekend to do it. Hopefully it'll get done soon, because that's gross. Good morning, campers. Next day after that big wagon trip to Richmond there, and we got a bunch of shit going on. Because I come home last night and I had to mow the lawn, so I cut the grass, and then I'm like, man, I'm gonna start doing this because I need to do this because it needs done. This bumper, there was already a bolt snapped off right in here, so I'm gonna have to clean that thing out. It just goes right back here, and then there's a couple long ones that go in here. And while I'm down here and got this off, I should probably take those greasers out, or try to at least. One of these never fills with grease. I can never grease. I think it's this guy over here. But then I'm sitting here and I got this one to break free, and I got this one to break free, and they were full of all that white junk and whatnot, but this one would not break free, and then I end up just snapping the head off, and it sucks because it's back there. I know you probably can't see it, but there's a bolt back here, and then that radiator's right there, so I don't know how in the flying fuck I'm supposed to get that out. But that's the first thing I'm gonna do this morning, is work on that. And try to figure out what's going on with that. Unfortunately, let's go back in there real quick and I'll talk about some things. That the holes on that bumper don't line up. They go from like here to over here, so I'm gonna have a bunch of extra holes, and that's not even the same one. Those are straight down. Those are straight down, and then that one over to the side, and then it's got those ones in there for those, which when I put that new one on, I set it up there, it didn't even look like I needed those because it won't, it goes back and touches that, so I'm gonna need some kind of spacers probably in there. But let's go over and look at Frank real quick, because he actually has the holes cut out. He's got the square holes instead of the fog light holes. And this bumper is probably exactly the same as that. See how these ones are already? Now, if these holes were right here, they'd be right in this area, cut out, because he's already got these two. But you see how far back this is? Those aren't even close to that, and you can see that's bubbling already, and this bumper's only a couple years old. So that's kind of disappointing, but that's chucking, you know what I mean? And these are straight up and down. So I may need to, okay, yeah, there's a big spacer right there. The block spacer right there in this one. There's probably a block back here too. You know? So that's what that is. It does have a number. K221A3057. So I'll have to Google that and see what that is, because that's probably what's going to happen with that one. I'm going to have to get some spacers and put in there, because there's no way that thing's just going to slap up on there with that being like that. No, this isn't weed. It's like herbs and stuff, peppermint, mullein, things of that nature, elfin ear, whatever. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, you can tell, you know, these are different. Those holes are off. Those holes aren't even close, so I'm gonna have to re-drill the stuff, which sucks. But it's what it is. Yeah, that foot would be up in there somewhere, and that's probably not happening. So there's gonna be none of that whatsoever on this. And another thing is, this right here is gonna have to be cut, because when you put it up there, the bumper's crooked the way it sits on there. I put it up there last night and just flipped it up there, and it was crooked. This was catching on the other side over here versus this side. So to keep it to where it's straight, I'm gonna have to cut that to start off with, and then I'm gonna have to re-drill all the holes, and they're gonna be off, and it's just gonna be one of them situations where it's an optical illusion, and Chad's gonna try his best to do what he can to make it look right. Kind of disappointed, but that's what it is, you know. That's just what it is. So that's life. I mean, it's the closest one to being what it is. And I've thought about, I'll probably just maybe get some little bolts and put in here to where the head's sticking out, and then it looks like it's something, so it's not just an open hole. Or I can stick some lights in there, because I do have those little, I got these little yellow lights somewhere around here. I'm not sure if they're down here or not, but I've got a little package of them, and I'll catch up with you later and show you them. But I'm pretty much going to do all this crap off camera, because that's what I have to do. You're probably going to see it mounted, and that's what it is, because I just don't have time, nor do I feel or care to do all this stuff on camera. I like cutting it with cutting that out with a cutoff tool, and then drilling holes into a chrome bumper isn't really what I wanted to do first thing Saturday morning, but it's got to be done. If not, I'm putting that old bumper back on, and I'm definitely not trying to put that old bumper back on being raggedy and shit. But I mean, for the most part, it did come off pretty easy, besides that one bolt that was stubborn as fuck. So I'm gonna have to run to the store and get some hardware. Everything else came off pretty much okay. That one doesn't have any of the holes drilled on the bottom except for 2 for the lights, and other than that, there's nothing. So the mud flap hangers and everything's gonna have to be re-drilled. License plate bracket, you name it, it's all gonna need re-drilled. So what it is, it's go time. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. I didn't go to bed until about 2, because I was out here until about 1. Went in and showered because I'd mowed and stuff, and then was dirty from laying around out here, and then ate some food and passed out. So glad to be home. If I was on the road, I'd have less to do. I'd just give the truck a horse bath and be done with it. But I got to jack the cab up anyways and get up in there, because I've got an oil leak I want to take care of, and I think it's coming from the fill tube. A couple of the fill tube necks are I believe leaking, so I got to take care of that. That way I don't have a bunch of splatter and shit, because I don't like seeing that on my tanks, nor do I like seeing that on this mud flap right here. It's just disgusting. That's 2 weeks worth of hard running garbage build up right there that I need to get taken care of. So maybe want to jack it up, I'll bring you back and stuff after we get that taken care of. We'll do some progress reports as we're going along. We're just not gonna shoot our work over the shoulder, because we don't have time to keep up with a camera. Well, we're getting there. At least we're trying. That's all we can do, right? Because that's all we can do. Just had a couple stop over from White House, Ohio. They were on their motorcycles, motorcycle. A gentleman said he used to drive a Cabover back in the day, and he went down to Martin Diesel place. I got my drive shaft done for Frank at the time when I did the transmission. He just right down the road. That's what they specialize in, shit like that. We got some rain going on, so I had to come in here for a minute, because I'm not going to continue to drill. I'm tapping out a bolt that was snapped off in there. It was the tapped one, and it snapped off. I think probably when I think somebody hit a deer maybe with a bumper before, and it smashed it in, and that bolt's always been missing, so it's kind of always been flopping around and shit. But they stopped over because he said they had a Jeep that they were going to drive shaft on down at Martin Diesel, and he come back by one time and he's seen the trucks, and he thought, man, he wanted to bring his wife by to show her. He's like, you don't ever see 2 of them sitting at the same place like this. And I'm like, yeah. Started talking to him about how running them and whatnot, and what I've been doing lately and this and that. And so then we sat there and chatted. Then next thing you know, it started pouring, which I didn't realize it was going to. It just started sprinkling. The next thing you know, the floodgates opened up, and it was spitting some hail out here and there. But I figured I'd come inside for a minute and chill out, and basically threw everything power electric right onto the truck. That way I wasn't getting it. Besides that compressor, I'm not really too worried about. Big chanchas to the cap on. Anyways, let's get into this. These holes are not going to fit right here. Those are the holes right there. I did get some spacers, because Frank's got some aluminum blocks that are 1.25 inches. I thought these would work right here. That's just a copper, so that copper on aluminum with the metal's not going to be too bad. It should be a little bit of protection there. So what I'm going to do probably is, since these aren't going to fit, is I'm just going to throw this in there like that, and then just put that bolt on there on the back, just to kind of sex that up. So it looks like there's a bolt on there, and I just don't have a big stupid open hole, because I don't necessarily want to run lights in here. That'll just kind of look weird if there's 2 lights in there for no reason on the bumper. So I guess we'll just throw some hardware up on there. That way it'll match, and then we'll sex it up like that. And I'm still going to have to measure and drill the holes out. Basically what I'm going to do is, this is that side right there, obviously. I'm drilling this one right here on the top out because this is the one that was broke off. So I'm gonna have to do one right here, and then I'm gonna have to do one right here straight down. And then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna do, this one's broke off, unfortunately. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this one right over here. There's two, there's 1, 2, and then 3. So what I'm gonna do is 3, and then this one, and I'm not gonna, I can't get that one out because the head broke off on me last night, and where the radiator is right in the back like that, it just sticks out. So hopefully I don't have to cut this. I'm gonna try and do this without having to cut this. I may still have to, but I don't know if those spacers will help out or not, so I don't have to cut that. If I do have to cut that, it's not a big deal. I'll just grab the cutoff tool and I'll zip them off real quick, and then I'll be able to slap it up. Now it is about a looks like about 1 inch shorter on each side, just like Frank. The bumper that's on him is smaller too. It's just what it is with these aftermarket things. But you know, I'll throw the I'll throw my lights in there and I'll do what I got to do, and I'll hook it up to where it's hooked up, and then you know we'll slap it on there. Hopefully by the end of today I'll at least get that done. That's what my goal is. No, I didn't expect this break right here. There was no signs of rain, period, and it's just dumping down. My fucking cardboard out there is going to be trashed and soaked, and I'm going to be dumping water out of my drill bits and stuff like that, Big Chachi's case. And I mean, it's what it is, man. What can you do? It's just somebody don't want me to be able to work, and it's going to open up here in a little bit. And when you look at the radar, it's just right where I'm at. It's not raining anywhere else. It's just raining on me. So somebody's mad at me about something. I don't know what's going on, but it's just, that's trucking, folks. That is trucking. Let's go on here real quick and see if we can see the old tomorrow. Now it's supposed to rain tomorrow night, but oh yeah, it's even in the red. No, we don't want to premium. Look, that's where we're at right there. Oh yeah, it just happened to be right there on the map is where we're getting soaked, so that's what it is. But yeah, hopefully it'll be done soon and I can get back to work and move that nice soaked piece of cardboard out and take the blower out and clean everything I need to off, and hope that my electrical stuff isn't too soaked. So oh, it's raining, it's pouring, the old man's snoring, it freaking keeps on raining, then getting sunny, then cool, then humid, and ugh. Well, I got the bumper mocked up here. Got her setting on the old, well, they're not setting on, it's just setting up there where the drill holes, I got those marked and stuff. And I got that just in case because I dropped it a couple of times, but it's just what it is. That's what it's going to be like before I add the lights. Now I'm sitting there looking at this thing, and when I first put it up last night, I had to trim some things off, and the fog lights are not going to be exactly perfect. But right in the middle of that, right in the middle of that, so they're just a little off. It's just what it is. But if you look at that thing, is about as square and centered as it's gonna get. So I just need to, like, I've marked the holes and then I taped around them because the lady told me I needed to tape around the holes before I drilled. That way I didn't peel any of the stuff off and drill down instead of from the back. So this is how we're gonna go. I would be able to put those on the jacks and peel this thing back to be able to make sure, because I measured the stuff earlier from that bumper in there while it was sitting up against, and it just didn't look right. So that's what it is. I'll be able to slap my fog lights right in there though. That's cool. And I'm gonna have to drill everything else out. So for the front mud flap lighters, they're gonna get drilled out. And obviously I took those out because it was catching on the back there and I wasn't able to put it up, but I do got some little bushings that I'm gonna put back there. That way I can get it out so it's out. But yeah, that's what it's gonna look like when it's on. I just need to drill the holes out. That thing's a lot cleaner and fresher. Oh, that's nice. This thing's got like a half-ass rain bath twice now, which it's rained pretty good. I mean, if I was out here with a washcloth and some soap, I could actually clean it up and just let the Mother Nature take care of it, but I didn't because I was in the garage doing that shit. But I'm going to pull this thing off now and go get the rest of it taken care of. Now the front mud flap bladers are going to be more of a challenge because I don't exactly have all this ass out here. On the other one, I have all this ass out here. I've got all this real estate right here. I'm missing this much real estate from this guy. So it's basically going to stop there and then be half a flap sticking out probably. Or I'll maybe trim him in to where some of the tires sticking out. You know what I mean? It just depends what's going to happen, but it's going to probably run like right there. Maybe I'll just cut him over or something. And it might be different. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I won't even put them on period because they're not on Frank after I got that new bumper. So it's what it is. But yeah, I'm getting ready to drill some holes and stuff. I did have to take the cutoff tool and notch this back because this was all the way up in here. It was like right in here. So I had to notch this back and I basically cut right to there. That section right there with a cutoff tool. And I did this side too, even though I didn't need to. I just wanted to make sure that it was leveled up. Because obviously if that bumper was all the way over, it wouldn't be straight and be sticking over that side a little bit more. You know what I mean? Honestly, in this case, I would rather have a slimmer bumper than a bumper that's too big and sticking out and looking awkward, like some of those big square bumpers that just look weird. Somebody suggested that I had got a old steel bumper that was square and then put the flaps on. I thought, man, that'd been cool. But that wasn't even in the realm. I just wanted a new fancy chrome bumper because this one, the way it was, you know what I'm saying? This stuff right here, if this wouldn't have been, you know, bent in and stuff like that, I just kept running it. But it's all beat up and peeling off, so I figure it's time for an upgrade, even though it's got the old number stamped in it. I'll keep this bumper round though. Maybe I'll throw it on a pickup or something someday if I become a hillbilly again and do shit like that. You know what I mean? I got the holes drilled. I'm gonna try and mount it now and see how it works. Had to run up town and get me a new bit because that other one was none of these other ones would go through that thing. I need something that would eat, so I had to go pick that up. I did have a rebate, so I only paid like 89 cents for it, whatever. And it's still fucking dumping and pouring here. Like every 15 minutes there's a storm coming through and it's a freaking just banger. So I'm gonna try and get it mounted, or I'm at least gonna check the holes and see if they're even close to fitting. Hopefully this thing's somewhat straight, not too bad. Everything's an optical illusion, so keep that in mind, folks. Boy, well, it's on. What a chore, drilling those bolts out and stuff. Tried to throw the last bolt in this morning. The thing fucking straight up got eaten by something that zipped in there. So I ended up throwing the old bolt back in there and it went fine. So I got one dirty bolt. The thing is straighter than straight. It's perfect on there, okay? It's perfect on there how it's mounted and stuff. The only thing that's a little odd is the flaps don't come over as far as they used to before. So those might be one of the things that may get taken off or replaced one of these days. I don't know. It's still better than what it was. So, I mean, drilling holes into a brand new bumper suck, especially when you're blind to some of the spots. It's not like you can just measure and go. Those LED fog lights, those lined up perfect, and I like the way that chrome shines off there, and that makes it look like it's just full. So it's just a full bumper. No, I don't have a foot spot, but I'm lanky enough to where I can stick my foot up in that spot right there, and pull myself up. I did lose my 2 little lights right here because there wasn't holes in anything, and I started to tap drill one, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not even gonna put them on here because I just don't feel like it. Maybe I'll get something that hangs down in between, so we'll figure that out. But I got to put those simulators on that I got next, and then I'll probably tack those up. That way they're just not hanging, because they've just got 2 wires that are just hanging, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna run this thing down the road real quick because I just gave it a nice wash. Had to get up under there and do some stuff, and then cleaned out the motor and stuff. And there, I had one spot that was leaking from my my dipstick. The bolt had been loose, and then everything was slinging out of there that was extra and whatnot. So I tightened that up, and then there was a spot where it wore out, so I put some sealant in there. So I'm gonna run this thing down the road real quick and try to give it a proper dry off, and then I'll probably back it right in there because I need to get the wagon over here and wash it real quick before I put it up. And I got a big mess in here I need to clean up. I just got a lot of stuff to do and not a lot of time to do it in, so that's what's going on. Thanks for watching.